Howdy. So I'm going to jump right in. The show's called Sit. They'll have stools that they're going to be sitting on. They have straight chairs. I'm going to talk through some of that in more detail in a second. We have a voiceover that actually is kind of metered out, and it's one of the things that we'll clean on Friday. If I sit on the stool that I have at my house, my feet are not flat. Just be aware that for all the students, when they sit on the stool, depending on how tall they are, we have a kid that's 6'1", probably several kids that are 6 foot tall. For them to be comfortable, their legs are out a little bit, but we've adjusted so that everybody can have their feet flat. So some people are sitting on the edge, some are all the way back, so we can look as much the same as possible. Every thing that happens is they're at their stools, and they're all in different poses, so that they can get to this position, open second, right behind their stool in one count. Some are moving their foot, some are moving their foot this way, some are just turning their bodies. The objective is that they're all different. And when the voiceover says, in order to stand, they all go to this. And the very next thing is the word together, their hands come out here. Now, this distance for everybody is a little different depending on how they're built. But I basically told them for me, that's a little bit bigger than a basketball that would fit right here between my arms and my thighs. An adjustment we need to make is for them to have their hands here when they actually stand. So, in order to stand together, some already have their hands here. In order to stand together, so that motion's not as big. So we're going to add that when they go to the word stand, in order to stand, their hands need to be in front of them. The audience is this way. Together, the hands come out. In order to stand together, so my head goes up. I'm standing on the word stand. My hands are in front of me. They pop out here on together. We are doing open hand. We're trying to not be literal as if they're always going to stand together like they're holding hands. This alludes to that, however. So, stand, open second. They're looking this way. Their hands are in front of them. Together. In order to stand together, then on the word perhaps, they're taking a step with their left foot. In order to stand together, perhaps their hands come back down to normal by their sides. Perhaps there's a rest. We must first, hands are by our side. I'll say that again. In order to stand together, perhaps, nothing happens on the next beat. Perhaps step, we must, I'm turning this foot out first. Now I'm ready to sit down on my stool. In order to stand together, perhaps we must first, now I'm in front of my stool. They're coming around it. They've rehearsed this. The next thing they do is sit on the word sit. Their hands are by their side. Up. So the reason I'm doing this is on their stools they have legs that their feet are going to go against, and their hands are on their thighs, about midway up, just normal and natural. Not here, not here. Flat on top. As if I turn my hands over, I could put a quarter in my palms and the quarter wouldn't fall off. So I'm right here. In order to stand together, perhaps step, we must first. I'm in an open second. I'm here, my head is down. Sit. Then my head's going to come up on the next beat. In order to stand together, perhaps we must first, and this is actually going to be 3 counts of rest. First, 2, 3, 4, sit, up. They don't say up. Up's not in the voiceover, but that's when their head comes up. Perhaps, in order to stand together, perhaps we must first sit. And then my head comes up as my feet come up to here. In order to stand together, perhaps we must... I'm sorry, my fault. In order to stand together, perhaps we must first sit. Face to face, easy. They're all going to turn and look at each other. Face to face, from here down, nothing changes. Face to face, and then they're going to go to and listen. They all lean in toward each other. Their head's not down. They don't slump. Everything just goes face to face and listen. When they go to listen, the hand that creates a C toward the judges so that judges can see, thumb is in, fingers are rounded, goes over behind my ear so the judges can see the cupped hand. This hand is still here. My heels are still up on the leg of the stool. I'm leaning in. I'm still looking at the person. Face to face and listen. What someone going to want to do, what someone we're doing, and listen. The hand on this side of their face doesn't work for the judges because they can't see it. We want them to be here so the judges all see that. Sit up, face to face, and listen. So that hand gets cupped behind the ear. My habit is to put my thumb here. I actually told them to have their thumb in. Face to face, and listen. Be open. Share. That's random. They're all doing it differently. They'll get used to the track, and that will start to become more and more together. But we've told them that be open and share are both a little bit more fluid than face-to-face and listen. Be open. Share. So someone for be open, they're just simply changing their posture, making themselves more open. Some hands are here, some are here, some are here, some are here. And open, they just gesture more toward that person, like, what I have to offer is this. Some of them want to overdo it. Be open. Share. And it shouldn't be that open. It should feel very natural. So, and listen. Be open. Share. Think is silly, and they're all different. Some of them have their feet up. Some have one foot up, and they're being told to be silly on listen. Then ponder, they're all different, but they're all curling their fist under their chin somehow. Some are doing this. Some might be like this. Some might be like this. Some actually are changing this hand, and it's like this. So ponder is a little different. Most of them are doing the fist thing, but it's different for some of them. Well, for all of them. And we want that. So it's less judgeable, but it's the right idea. So after ponder, resolve, they stand up. They reach to the person they looked at, and the foot that's the side that their hand shakes is the one that's forward. They're replacing this foot, most of them. Resolve, shaking hands, I'm looking at the person, and renew. And they let go and go on to the next thing. So I can get it in under the wire. All different poses. The audience is this way. They have to be able to go to open second immediately. In order to stand together, perhaps we must first sit. So I'm thinking sit up, all the way here up on the voiceover. My heels came up, my hands are here, face to face, and listen. Be open. Share. Think, ponder, resolve, looking at the person, shaking their head, this leg straight, and renew. And they go off to the next thing. See how much time I have left. All right. Well, I have one of the straight back chairs here. All the straight back chairs are different. All the stools are the same. Can explain about that later. At one point, they have to pick up their straight chairs. They don't have their instruments with them. Depending on how the chair is made, they may be holding it here. They may be holding it here. They may be holding it here. But the bottom line is, they want to stare at the stool the whole time, and they have to be either looking up at the judges, down at their chair, or they're looking away. They can't do this. They can't look around at where they're going. Next thing, there's a placard or a poster in the seat. So they can't do anything that's going to cause it to fall. Now, it's going to be attached slightly, but it's attached only enough that it stays on the chair, but they are going to be able to take it off. So once they pick up the chair, when they move, it has to stay flat. And all this movement that they're going to do is individualistic. They've already rehearsed that, we just haven't refined it. All right, so that's the opening body stuff. A few points about the straight back chair versus the stool. And I'll go ahead and stop this and make the next video so they're not too long and they upload pretty easily. Sorry for my little discrepancies here and there, but I think you get it. Thanks.